And welcome back to more dueling tips. This time we're going to do the Gusto deck. So, cards I recommend you run in the Gusto deck, I'm going to explain. I'm going to skip the ban cards because you guys don't need to worry about the ban cards because nobody's going to be using them. I just use them for fun, so let's get started. Okay, so Musto I usually use mainly for a beats deck. I know you can't see it, but it's actually 1800 attack. I usually use it as like I said, beat stick is all I do it. So I'll put that face down. Calmly, I suggest running that. Calmly comes really handy in the duel, especially later. Allows you to summon another Gusto Tuner to the field. Once flipped, then you can use it on your next turn. I suggest running 3 of those, by the way. Then there's Falco. Falco's good. When it's summoned, and then you synchro summon or whatever. Actually, when it leaves the field in general, except by battle, you can search for a Gusto monster from your deck and face down defense. So I usually go for Calmly, because Calmly is what works well with it. So I run. So next up, we go to Serenity. Now Serenity, you want to run at least 2 of these, because you can reuse your Gusto monsters, so you can use it with your synchros and these as well. There's nothing in the rules that says you can't. But if there is, check it out and comment me on that, and so on and so forth. Now, Squirrel is good if you want to special summon a level 5 or higher Gusto monster from your deck. That's when you want to put the higher levels in your deck. That's pretty much the only time it's good. Other than that, it's not very good. That's why I only run 1. Contact with Gusto. Contact with Gusto is actually a decent card. You get pretty much 2 cards back from your grave, and you get to destroy 1 card on your opponent's side of the field. So yeah, you get 1 card. You get 2 cards, and you get to destroy 1. So that's just running at least 2 or 3 of them. What's next? Okay, next up, a great card to run. Okay, we're gonna skip all these, skip that. Okay, Blessings for Gusto. Because it targets 2 monsters in your graveyard, then you get a 3rd one. Then you shuffle the first 2 into your deck and then special summon the 3rd one. So you can bring Freeze back, and you can perform your OTK. Not that hard. I run 2. I think I have 2 or 3 of them in this deck. What else can I run? Reese is just there for muscles, so don't worry about that. Go to the next part. Winder, don't worry about him. Actually, yeah, he can special summon another Gusto to the field. He's a good 2000, I think. So yeah, you just summon him. He can pretty much run into your opponent's monsters. So yeah, just be wary of that. Roll into Gusto, I suggest running 1 or 2, because it's best when later on in the match or duel when you have like no monsters in the field. But it has to have at least 1,000 or less defense from your deck. That's the only way you're gonna special summon it. Oh yeah, and you also get 2 Gusto monsters from your graveyard and shuffle them in the deck. Sorry, I forgot about that. Dust from Gusto, a really great card. Activate that, and then afterwards, if you can, summons Freeze. And you freeze the effect of being Dust Storm Gusto back, so you can reuse it. So this deck's pretty much going to recycle some cards. I suggest running recycling cards. That's why you run 2 Dust Storms. Well, you can run 3 if you want. They're not limited, so go right ahead. Eagle, good for bringing out monsters. Same with Priestess and Guldo. You can pretty much use those to OTK your opponent. Now, I run Spiritual Winder just because it actually works in the deck. You can even use it with I believe it's Falco that it works with. The one that gets sent to the graveyard except by battle and gets effect. I suggest running it. It would get 2 for the price of 1, so it's a great card to run. There's another Contact. We'll just go through this deck until I find another thing I can tip you with. Now, I suggest running 3 Windows just because they have good effect. You can keep using effect if you have freeze on the field, and then keep running into your opponent, pretty much turning your turn into a kamikaze mission. You know what I mean? Next up, we got... there's Falco. Okay, yeah, it is Falco. Alright. I was right. So, yeah. I think that's pretty much it for the main deck. I think. Let me check. Yeah. Alright, so now we move on to the extra deck. So I run all the Falcos, all the Gustos in this deck. So Falcos pretty much pretty much increases the attack of all current Gustos on the field by 600. It's decent, not best, but it's optional. Guldos, really great card. You pretty much get your Gustos back to your main deck. You can't use it with Synchros though. That's the bad thing about it. But you can. It's pretty much like another, almost like another contact with Gusto. Except it only works on face-up monsters, so it's still a good card. It's decent as well. That's Freeze. Freeze is the only Gusto card in this deck that's a problem. Unless you get around it by negating its effect or banishing it, you're in good hands. But if you can pull off the OTK kamikaze shit, blah 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 blah, you can pretty much win the game. You just got timer right, so make sure to be careful of like bombless and stuff like that. Degusto Eagles, not the best card in the game, but it's good as a high attacker because it's like 2600. But I just use it just to beat down the opponent. So feel free to use it. It's not that bad. So it's suggested. Degusto Phoenix, great Gusto card. It can be used in any win deck, but if you summon it, you can pretty much remove an overlay, make your Gustos make a win monster attack twice. Like use it on freeze, attacks twice. You're pretty much going to be blocking your opponent. Emerald. I haven't used Emerald yet, so actually I've used them once, but I didn't need to use overlays. So yeah, because I just used them just last weekend. Was it last weekend? No, it was a couple days ago. But yeah, he's decent. You can pretty much get like 3 monsters back into your deck, and then you get to draw 1 card. You can use it on Synchros and Xyz, I think. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, and Elf is just in there just as a joke. Cause I got bored and I wanted to put a monster in there for a joke, so I can make him feel useful. I just put him in there for that. So yeah. So whatever you want to put in a Gusto deck, it's all up to you. I'm not net decking or anything. I don't net deck. It's not my style. And that'll be it for the Gusto part. So we'll come back next time when I give you more tips on more decks. We'll see y'all then.